Hey guys, my name is Blaze and I'm back with a follow-up video for my last one, which was all about doing sequential attacks in an RPG style, right? So for this one, I realized that some people might not be too comfortable with using arrays. And so I tried my best to make another version that would, I guess, be kind of different. Ugh. I got something stuck in my throat or something like that. But what I found was that either way, you kind of need to use arrays when it comes to dealing with RPGs, top-down RPGs, if you want to streamline how you want the drawing process to be. So if you want to, quickly draw sprites, you need to be able to change their values. So unfortunately, I said in the last video that I was going to show you guys a method that didn't use accessors. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to actually do that. But I hope that you guys learn something in that you can treat your things like your two-dimensional arrays, your 2D arrays, and your 1D arrays as variables. So, just something to keep you guys aware that as you build your game, things are going to get harder. It's just a natural thing. But this is what I'm showing you guys today. It's essentially the same thing as the last video that I uploaded, and that's like sequential attacks. And again, if you are making something that, with 4 separate directions, unlike mine, I'm only using 3. But if you've got a game where you have 4 different directions, that's right, up, left, and down, then obviously you want to change some of the code to suit your needs, especially if you have like 8 directions. That's going to be really tough for you guys. Or rather, it's not going to be tough because I'm showing you guys, the absolute basics. But just to make sure that you guys are aware that there will be extra effort involved, depending on how in-depth or how much detail you want to put into your game. So for me, we just have the we have 3 directions that we're dealing with, because the left and right are basically just flipped versions of each other. And that's just how I did it. It's all for basically, it's just something to keep you guys occupied, give you guys something to work off of. So going off of yesterday's or the last video's tutorial, I'm actually not sure when I'm going to upload this one, whether it's the same day or day after. So just something to let you guys know. We're just going to actually just change a couple of things right here in the player event. So here's the last video's code. I've commented all of that out. And instead, I've just created 3 separate variables. 3 simple variables that you can change on the fly. Now, how this works is you have one for going left and right, one for going up, and one for going down. Obviously, if you've got 4 separate directions, then you're going to need one variable for each direction that you've got. So if you have 4 separate directions, you'll need 4. If you have 8, you're going to need 8. For me, I just need 3. That's it. And then down the bottom here, we're setting the default values for the sprite, for the attack sprite, to be whatever we have up here. Simply all it is. Okay, so what we're now going to have a look at is... no, that's not it. Is it in the begin step event? Okay, here we go. Here is where we actually change the sprites themselves. Again, we're going to be using accessors. So I said at the beginning that there really was no way for me to show you guys a method that didn't use accessors, because the whole point of it is to actually change the memory that we've got already. Rather than fumble around trying to figure out like a beginner level, not beginner friendly, but beginner level code, I decided to go with trying to explain this in a beginner friendly way so that your games will maybe not be on par with bigger studios or more experienced programmers, but definitely be a challenge for you guys. And that's I guess part of the point of tutorials is to give you guys a challenge. So again, let's quickly go over again what the accessors do. It allows us to change the values of an array without creating a whole new array altogether. All it does is it tells this part of the array, so the forward and the light attack part of our two-dimensional array, to say, hey, your new value, which is why we have this @ symbol here, your new value is going to be whatever H sequence is. Now, whoops, I middle clicked. Now, H sequence is actually changed in the state attack. Now, here in state attack, I'm using a switch statement instead of something else. Now, the switch statement basically tells us, depending on our combo count, we're going to change the value of these sprites to be whatever the combo value is. So if we're going upwards, we're using U sequence. And so if U sequence, if our combo count is at 0, it's going to run this one because the case is 0. If it's at 1, then it will play, it will play attack 1. And if it's at 2, then obviously it will play 2. And it does the same thing for all of the directions. Now that's it. That's really all it is. I have, however, left one thing out of both of these sequential attack videos, and that one thing is timers, the timeout bit of it. So if you press the attack key but then you don't press it for a while, obviously you want it to start back at 0. I've already made a tutorial about timers, and you can very easily implement that in with the rest of these tutorials. These tutorials are not meant to be like sequential. They're not supposed to go in order. They're just little bits and pieces that will allow you guys to, you know, put it into your game, implement it, and see if you can turn it into something. But this is the alternate method of my last video. Depending on your personal preference, these are the options available to you. Regardless of what you choose, you'll have the same outcome. I would prefer personally to use the method that I had in the last video, if I'm being honest with you guys. I really don't want to use this because, let's say for example, I do end up making a game, a top-down RPG game. This is what this is going to be mainly used for, I guess. But in a top-down RPG game, if I had 8 directions, I would need to have 8 separate combo counts, and that's going to be very annoying. If we have a huge switch statement that had 8 different cases. But at the same time, it's the same thing here. I would have to have, you know, up, down, left, right. At the end of the day, it's down to your personal preference, but most importantly, how well it runs depending on your game. So some people's games will be more intensive than others. It's all down to how you program it and what performs best for your individual situation. So that's all from me, guys. I hope this video was short enough, but I really hope that you did learn something. If you guys want to see more, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can make requests here. I'm still working on 2, but you can make a request freely. I'll take them in. If you have any questions, then don't forget to ask. Don't be afraid to ask, because I'll do my best to answer them. And if you guys are on social media, you can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter. Actually, you can ask me questions directly on my Twitter. My Twitter handle is in the description below, so, you know, have a look at that. And I hope to see you in the next video. Anyway, that's all from me, guys. I'll see you all later. Bye.